Hi Gemini, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Gemini is your love reading for the remainder of October. I'm posting on the 17th, but it's up until the end of the month. I'll do your November love reading, obviously, at the beginning of November. Thank you for all your patience in receiving this reading. I've been very unwell, actually. So we're going to start as usual. We're going to have 3 cards for you that represent you and 3 cards that represent your partner or the person that's coming towards you or the situation that you can expect to experience in love for the remainder of the month of October. Oh, wow. Your message is coming through very clearly. It's very clear. When it comes through like this, sometimes I feel like this is what's happening literally now. I feel like, or maybe now, this week, today, this is what you're going to be experiencing. So we'll look at those cards in a second. And then these are the person or the experience that you can expect to come towards you. There's a couple more that want to come out. They'll just be clarifiers and I'll just pull them when, I'll know when to pull them. Okay, let's get started then. So these are your, wow, these are your cards, Gemini. So this is good. You should be feeling very good. Oh, wow, look at those. This is clarifying one of these. I think it's this one. Let's get started. First of all, you've got the 10 of Pentacles, darling. Capricorn have just had this card, actually. I've just done their reading. They've had this card in their reading as well. And this is a card of security and abundance. The pentacle energy is related to the earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's related to the manifestation of wealth, and wealth is everything. It's, yes, money, cash money, but also, you know, security, things that make you, help you feel secure, like family, like relationships, etc. So these are things that should be abundant for you. You should be potentially feeling like that, as I said, now, or you've been feeling like that in the month of or you'll be feeling like that in the remainder of your of this month. It could be that you are married, or that you've recently married, or that you've recently decided to get married, or decided to start a relationship, or decided to start a commitment, and you're feeling really great, really settled in this decision. We had at the end of last month, this was the card. Read the description box below, because I put some information about I always put information about the astrology for the month, and I have put some in below this video as well, and I talk about the experience of judgment and what that actually feels like, and that it does cause us and create us to reflect on things. You know, situations will have arisen for you already, leading up to now, leading up to today, the 17th, or this is what you'll be experiencing this month. Situations have arisen that help you to put things into perspective, that help you to realize where you are, who you are, what you want, etc. And it's obviously something that's brought you a great deal of, or will bring you a great deal of happiness and security in your relationships, all relationships, not just romantic. Especially with judgment, it might be that you've had to cut people out of your life that weren't a healthy influence for you, that weren't good energy for you, and maybe something happened that made you realize that, made you see that this month or last month, and now you should be feeling a lot more secure, ready to take on a relationship, ready to begin or a new start with your partner, to do more things together, to work better together, etc, etc. Okay, the next card that wants to come out it's this one, apparently. Oh, it's this one. So we've got, I've got to go with the intuition. So this is the one that wants to come out next, apparently. And I'm feeling like obviously these two are linked. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, again linked to Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, or anyone with these qualities. You know, the Pentacles energy is about manifestation, as I said. It's about being able to look at the things in your life that you have done, that you have felt, that you have experienced, that have helped you to become the person that you are today. That's what Pentacles is like, you know, that help you to, you know, put the work in so that I can build a career, or put the work in so I can take the steps, so I can build a relationship. And with the queens, the feminine, so it's about an understanding. It literally is number 3 on the the Tree of Life, I'll not bother going into why that's significant, but that is about, it's literally understanding. It's literally it's literally what it stands for. And so the pentacles, or the feminine energies I should say, are all about understanding. They're all about what's within, what we feel within. And this is about appreciation. This is about gratitude, really. You feeling grateful and for the things that you have. And also you feeling powerful and strong enough to exercise your personal power. If there is something that you these two cards are linked. If there is something that you have wanted to achieve and you've not been able to, and you've not felt able to in the past, now or in October, you should be feeling like you're able to do, this is what I can do. Let me look at the things that I can affect change, how I can affect change in my relationship, or let me look at the things that I can do that can affect change in my relationship status, for example. And it's about recognizing that you have the ability to do that and putting those things in action. So, for example, it's not saying you can't predict if someone's going to ask you out, for example, if those people are single, or you can't sort of force your husband or your wife to go, or your boyfriend or girlfriend to, want to do the same activities as you. They might not want to go salsa dancing, for example. But what have you got within your power to actually, what can you actually do to affect the changes that you want, to bring in and to manifest the type of life or relationship and commitment that you want? And that could be something, a way of as simple as the way that you approach it. How do you ask that question to your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend about salsa? Is it, I don't know why I'm talking about salsa, or whatever it is. How do you address that with them? How do you bring that up? Do you make them feel guilty, or do you, what can you, or are you sincere about the reason why it's important to you for the two of you to spend this time together? Or if you're dating and no one's asking you out, it might be that you've realised, I'm going to the wrong places, or I'm going for people that I've always been with in the past. Let me try something different now. This is what these two energies are representative of. It's practical things that you can do, that you can do, I should say, with these two cards, and actually taking the action. This is the divine will to create. This is number 2 on the Tree of Life. This would be number 3 on the Tree of Life. And it's the divine will to create. It's the divine will to bring things through. Divine doesn't have to necessarily mean God if you don't believe in that. Divine is that inspiration, that drive that pushes you, that opens you up, that wants you to, that feeling of wanting to go in a new direction or wanting to take action on things. That's the magician card. That's the magician energy. And it's like there's practical things that you can actually do to affect change in your relationships. And one of those things may be, one of those things that you can do practically may be reaching out to somebody. This card's connected to that. It is. This card's connected to this. It could be reaching out to somebody. You might actually open up communication with somebody, if you're single or if you're separated in a commitment, if you're separated or something. The thing that you might practically do is open up the lines of communication, or you might, again, as I said, approach the communication in a different way. Instead of blaming, for example, or accepting blame even, it's about, it might be that you approach that in a different way to what you've usually done. This action that you take is a practical thing. So you're feeling like you need to reach out to somebody potentially. You need to have communication with somebody, Gemini, and that's a thing that's going to affect change for you. And that's something that you really do have the power to do. And I think that it's about your perspective, the way that you're looking at it. Yeah, clearly some of you will be reaching out and saying to somebody, romantic words of love, I feel something for you, or I want to date you, and even if you're a woman saying this to a man, and I'm only saying that because traditionally people think blah blah blah, so that's why I'm saying it. Even if that's what you're thinking, oh, I can't reach out to him, he's been nowhere he's been nowhere, whatever. How do I approach this? It's about you realizing that you can do something differently. You can be sincere about your feelings. You can't You can't make somebody else feel what you feel, or do or want to do what you do, but you can be sincere about where you're feeling and that and what you're experiencing. And oftentimes, the things that we go through and experience, even though sometimes we blame on the partner, we say, well, you know, he was horrible to me, you know, he treated me badly, he let me down. It's sometimes about realizing that these are patterns that you are in. You know, you're in patterns where you are not treated well enough. You're you know, you let things slide. You let things slide because you're scared of being on your own, for example, or whatever reason. You know your own personal stuff. Obviously, I don't know your own personal stuff, but those experiences that we have, it's about realizing, it's about understanding where those things come from, where those markers come from, and then that means that you can be sincere about really what you're feeling. So, you know, I'm not blaming you that you did this or that you did that. You know, it's not about you did what you did and you take responsibility for that, but let me take responsibility for what I've done, for what I've said, for what I've not done, for not being truthful when I felt like you were lying. I should have just said I felt like you were lying instead of saying nothing and then, you know, it destroying the whole relationship, crumbling because I wasn't being sincere. You know, I wasn't being truthful. And maybe I was just being paranoid because of what happened with my ex-wife or what happened with my ex-partner. Maybe I was just being paranoid, but blah, 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 blah. This is the type of communication that some of you could be having this in October. You know, this could be you saying this, or it could be them saying this. You know, this could be them, this could be you. It's meant to be. I always do it the other way around, but obviously you know your life, you apply it. Okay, this is the last three cards then, and we have got this is for the person or situation coming towards you, or your current partner, love interest, blah blah blah. King of Swords, Queen of Wands, Hanged Man. Okay, so there may have been some sort of separation, but let's look at the person coming towards you. Could be, well, we've got earth signs here, which is your sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or we've also got fire signs represented here, which are Aries, Leo, Sag. But we've got all signs because we've got Queen of Pentacles and we've got Page of Cups, so these could represent people of those elements, you know. But again, we all have, it doesn't have to, it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't often either, really, to be honest. But sometimes it does. Anyway, so let's have a look at the person or situation coming towards you. Well, it's one of truth, and I feel like it's one of, I feel like it's someone that you have had dealings with before. Venus is retrograde in Scorpio this month, so it turned retrograde. I forget the date. It was either the 8th or the 6th or the 8th of I think it was the 8th, anyway, of October. So it's already happened. And this means that sometimes we are thinking back to our past, and we're thinking back about past relationships, past friendships, you know, how we showed up in them, you know, the relationships that we might need to let go of, the arguments and the disagreements that we might need to let go of, and the people that we might need to let go of. So it feels like, because we've got this Hanged Man, it feels like this is something that both of you, you know, you might know who this person is. You know, the fact is, you know, you are reaching out, you're reaching out, and you're, or this could be them, you know, this could be them, this could be you, or vice versa. But you're reaching out, Gemini, and saying, and having this type of communication, saying, do you know what? I do love you, I do love you, I do want to spend time with you, or, you know, I am sorry for what I did before, I do see what I did. And this other person has got the King of Swords, apply it. This other person's got the King of Swords. First of all, the King of Swords is, the Swords energy is about our thoughts, our minds, our consciousness, our communications. You know, that is what the Sword energy is about. It's about logic, and it's about reason, and it's about truth, it's about honesty. And, you know, the masculine aspect of it is about taking action toward that. So wanting to be truthful, being truthful, you know, speaking your truth, you know, being clear, being aware of yourself and of what you want to say. This is the energy of the King of Swords, and it's about taking action on that. So if you reach out to that person, this person's going to speak to you. They're going to respond, because it's not passive. It's not the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords would think about what they wanted to say. They would reflect on how they on what they're thinking, on what they're thinking from the message. But this isn't a reflective card. This is an action oriented. It's masculine. It's action orientated. So this is saying that if you reach out, or if they reach out, there's going to be communication between the two of you. They're going to speak their truth as well, okay? And they're going to be passionate about it. They understand now. They've spent some time out clearly with the Hanged Man, and they understand what it is they want. Again, passiveness. So it's about the feelings. It's about what's within, what you understand, and it's about having a grasp, a hold of your passion, understanding what it is that this person feels. This person knows what it is that they're passionate about. They recognize that now. They see that now, and they know what their demons are also. They know what the things that have challenged them in the past are also, and they are now aware of that. They now understand those things and how they have affected the how it may have affected your relationship in the past, or how it's affected their life in the past. And this is something that could happen. So it could be that the communication is something that brings about oh, okay, I do feel passionate about this. I do want this. I am motivated for this. But it could be that this person, either this has already happened or it's going to happen. I feel like it could be that the conversations that the two of you have leads to this Hanged Man trying to see something from a different perspective, trying to forgive, trying to overcome, trying to see the benefits of the separation that you two potentially had, or the fact that you've potentially been having difficulties with your partner. And it's about understanding, for this person understanding, okay, even though it was awful that we argued and that we've been not spoken to each other or whatever, even though that was awful, I realised that was what was needed, because we needed that. We needed to have that time apart, or we needed to have this uncomfortable time, because if we didn't have this uncomfortable time, we would not now be speaking truthfully to each other. We would not now behaving in a truthful way toward each other, and that is what we need. The Hanged Man is about enlightenment. It's about seeing something from a different perspective. It's a number 12. 1 and 2. So 1 is initiation, new starts, action, and 2s are about a commitment, being committed to a way of thinking, a way of feeling, a perspective. And this is about turning it on its head, because it's number 3 also. Oh my God, look at that. It's number 3 also, I was about to say. Number 3 is a master number. It's a universe shining a light on something, on a situation for you, saying you need to look at this again. You need to, whenever you see number 3, that's what it's about. 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Look at what you can do. 3 of Pentacles. Reflect on how you're feeling. 3 of Cups. Blah blah blah. So with the number 3s, it's like this is, with this card as it being number 12, 1 plus 2. It's saying this is, maybe these conversations help you guys to, or help this person anyway, to look at the situation from a different perspective and try to see, this is why, because it's enlightened, isn't it, around his head, trying to see the benefits of the situations that you've shared or that you've gone through. So, potentially, and as I said, I always do it like, this is you, this is them, but it could be the other way around. Cross watches, you can apply it, obviously, anywhere that fits. But there's definitely going to be movement, definitely going to be communication, and there's definitely going to be true words spoken. I mean, there's security here. You've got security, or one of you at least has got security. In fact, you both do. There's maturity and there's security. There's maturity in what we think and how we feel, okay? There's a recognition of the fact that these two things need to be balanced, and you need to be honest about those things, be truthful about them. And yeah, it's a very solid, I feel like you're in a very grounded place, actually. I feel like you're in a very grounded place, Gemini. And I'm just going to take your thumbnail because it is time. I hope you like that reading. I'm going to, there we go. I mean, I think they're great cards, aren't they? I think that the message is reach out. Whoever this is, whoever's watching it, if this is you waiting, this could be you waiting. This could be you, because this is, I suppose, King of Swords is Gemini, isn't it? So this could be you, Gemini. You could be waiting for this, for someone to reach out to you, for someone to get back in touch with you, or, and it's going to happen. So, there's going to be contact after some time, after a separation, there's going to be some contact, and it's going to be truthful. it's going to be truthful, open dialogue and communication. So I think that that's a really, really positive reading. And I think that this is, as I said, you've been going through some really quite strong transits yourself, Gemini, as a sign. Astrologically, you've had some quite interesting transits. And the awakening, I mean, people always say stay woke, and I just think, what does that even mean, stay woke? And I think that half the people that say it don't even know what it means, to be honest. But I think that for you, it's about removing that veil, those veils of illusion. And we're born with 7, Buddhist tradition tells us this. And being woke is about removing those veils. I don't know what the people on social media use it for, but but essentially that's where it comes from. And being woke is about removing those 7 veils throughout the course of your life, so that you can reach enlightenment and fully understand what reality is and what life is, etc., etc. And this is about being woke. That's what this is. This is about you, the cycles that you've been going through over the last few years, really, Gemini, have really awoken you. They've awakened you. I don't know, awakened, because what they've allowed you to see is they've allowed you to identify your own personal power. They've actually allowed you to identify your own self-worth, and you're like me in that respect, where you'll be on your own. You'll not just date for the sake of it, or you'll not just mess about and waste your time. But you're learning that you've done that. You did that in the past. You know you did. We all did. We all do. You did that in the past, though. You were in relationships and in connections that were no good for you, but it were better than that than be on your own. That's being woke, being able to accept and understand that that's what you did. That's what we all do anyway. It's totally natural. Until you realise, and it's like you're realising one of the ways that you've awakened is that you're realising your self-worth. You're realising what you do have to offer. You're realising that you did treat yourself like that before, that you didn't have a good self-esteem. You didn't really value what you had to offer. That's changed. You know what you offer. You know what you have to offer now, Gemini. You know what you have to offer. You know what you're capable of, and you know what your worth is. And so I applaud you for that. And that's beautiful. And it seems like this month, or blah, 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 18, 20, 31st, it seems like this month, either, as I said, if this is you or this is them, you apply it, there's going to be some very honest communication between yourself and potentially a past lover, or someone that you've, any type of relationship that you have, your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, friends, whatever. There's going to be some really honest communication, and you're the one who's going to, so one of you is going to take the reins to reach out. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that reading, Gemini. I'll be posting your general bi-weekly readings next week. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like and share this content. I will be also uploading a pick a card reading and your November stuff as usual. Now I'm fighting fit again. For those people that want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, it is Key Wisdom Tarot. And if you would like a personal reading, there's a little bit of a wait, but it is keywisdomtarot@gmail.com. Thank you so much, Gemini. Have a lovely few weeks, and I will see you all again soon. Take care, Gemini. Bye.